Scotty, another big game tomorrow night, a special game, 25 years anniversary since the 98-99 championship. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's an exciting challenge to see those guys from that championship team back in town. Is one of those special memories we'll always have. And we got together last night for a bite to eat, and the stories were flowing. It's amazing how much better we get as the years go on. So, but it's just great to see those guys, and hopefully as a team we can show them the respect that they deserve and do something special tomorrow night ourselves.
What were some of your fondest memories from that 98-99?
Anytime Paul Rees opens his mouth, you never know what's coming out. So there's always stories with that. But it was such a great team from an individual perspective, but we just got on so well collectively. And you had to have pretty thick skin back in those days. You didn't want to do something out of order because you'd hear about it for the next month. The memories of Daniel, me and Kevin Brooks as an import duo, and the way they could play, and Brett Maher at the top of his game. But I think the other thing with that is we just had guys that fill the right roles. Paul Rees was the perfect centre for that team. David Stiff, what he was able to come in and contribute. Rupert Sappel, Mark Davis. I mean, the names are... it's spectacular when Martin Catalini. You start going through the names. It's every one of them puts a smile on your face.
Is that what made the group so special? You all seem to get along so well, and that kind of transferred to success on the court. Very
much so. Yeah, it's the camaraderie amongst that group was as special as any team I've been involved in. It helps when you're winning, obviously, but it was a special group of guys, and some fairly large egos amongst that lot as well. But we sort of kept everyone in their place. But it's just a special time in all of our lives. To go back to back at to win a championship at any time is special. But to go back to back was one of my great memories.
Is it something that this really respect? Does it mean a lot to them? I guess.
Yeah, I hope so. I've made a point of bringing them in and introducing them to those guys, and I think when you look up and you see the banners and you see the names up there, and then you can put a face to it, and for them to meet a Daniel, me, and a David Stiff and Rupert Sappel, obviously. Guys like Brett has been around the club and continues to be involved anyway. But it should touch a nerve, and to see the way we are together when we get together is something that I want these guys to be able to feel at some stage in their careers, because it is, and hopefully they see that amongst us, and it's something they really want to aspire to themselves.
Is that something, the way that you guys got along, is that something that you read, or was that like natural progression?
Oh no, I think it's there's I guess when you have certain personalities that mesh anyway, but it's still something you have to work at, and it's quite often it's as much off the court as it is on the court, and that's something that I feel has probably been lost a little bit over the years as the game's become more professional. It's important to do stuff away from the game as well, because that's where you earn your trust in each other, and that's something we've done a little bit this year with the club, and it's where you build trust and camaraderie amongst your teammates. So it's something we'll continue to. It's difficult at the moment because with the results, the position we find ourselves in, but it's super important to stay together and make sure we come out on the other side.
What kind of things have you done?
We've had 10-pin bowling. We've had some laser tag and some go-karting and some different bits and pieces. None of it's been very pretty, I might add. They make pretty good basketballers compared to what they do in that sort of environment. But even just in New Zealand, even going out after together as a group, and it's not about probably what we did in the old days about going out and staying out all night, but it's just being together as a group and being able to enjoy the moments and the wins and even the losses. It's important to stay together when they mount up as they have as well.
Is that team bonding more important than ever when the results aren't going as well as they could be?
100%, yeah, absolutely. It's easy when you do start losing, and we've obviously dug ourselves a pretty big hole this year, but it is easy then to start worrying more about yourself and the team. It's something that we, I guess, coming in when I have about crawling into guys' heads and making sure that we stay positive and stay together as a group and continue to huddle on the court and yeah, it is easy to fracture. I've seen it before with other groups, so that's something obviously we're working really hard to make sure it doesn't happen.
And how is the group going? You know, they're still together and still upbeat.
Yeah, absolutely. And they they've trained hard. They train hard. You know, there's still guys out here shooting now. You know, half an hour after training's finished, and it is difficult. You know, when you start losing games, we need to win. There's nothing more important than that at the moment, and get Melbourne United coming in is a super challenge. But you know, we've played well against them twice this year. We haven't got the results we wanted, but we should go in positive about playing them. You know, they're the best team in the competition, and that's a great challenge. We're here at home, but we expect to win. You know, like we don't underestimate the enormity of it, but we expect to come in, play a style of game, and beat them tomorrow night.
So obviously you've had a good taste of it now this season. Would you consider the job next season when obviously you're back in the
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it'd be nice to have the team from the start of the season and be able to instill, you know, my you know, we're on the hop at the moment. We're trying to bring things in really quickly. We're more than halfway through a season, so it's difficult to change a lot. But yeah, I'd love to get it from the start of the year. I'm also realistic to know that wins and losses is going to come into play, and that's hurting us at the moment. But my sole focus right now is these last 10 games. Whatever will be after that, we'll worry about that then.
Do you think there'll be a full coaching review into what's going on for next season? Will you have to apply for the job?
I'd imagine so. Yeah, and I would expect to. You know, I think you know, we need a vision like that. It's not just rolling from year to year to year, and we're changing over the team every year, which has happened on and off probably for the last 10, 15 years. So, you know, to me, we need a 3-year plan, you know, and not just something that we talk about and it's just tokenism. We need a plan for the future and how we're going to go about that. But yeah, I would expect there should be a review of the whole organisation, you know, the coaches, the players, and make sure we get it right.
If they did choose someone else other than you as the head coach, would you stay on as an assistant?
Oh, that's a really difficult question. I don't think so. I think I'd probably, you know, we've got great. I still would love to be around the club in one form or another, and Brett Maher and myself do that now with the school clinics and the holiday programs. But I would imagine if a new coach came in, they would probably want their own coaching staff anyway. So yeah, we'll worry about that when it happens.
Brett Maher was quite vocal earlier about, you know, the Sixers going for Brian Gordon.
Yep.
What's your
I think Brett would tell you himself he was disappointed in the way that article was portrayed. There was a lot of things that he said that didn't get added into that article, and that's probably why he came out yesterday and did quite a long Facebook post, 100% backing me to coach this year and next year.
Back to Melbourne United, you've had 2 good hit-outs against them. Did you get the win? What's going to be the point of difference this week, do you think?
Well, we just have mental lapses, and I think that's hurt us in a lot of games. And you know, we can't let some of the, I don't want to say lesser lights because they've got stars everywhere you look, but you know, last time we played them, Tanner Krebs hit 3 threes in the third quarter and turned the game on its ear, and we just can't have those lapses. We know what Chris Golding's going to do. You know, we know what the Dellavedovas of this world are like, and we've got a game plan to try and, you know, you're never going to completely stop them, but to try and nullify them to an extent. But we just can't have those 2 or 3 minute lapses where someone steps up, and then you look at the end of the game, and there's those points is the difference in the game. So it's just staying focused, literally the entire game. And I know that's one of those cliches, I suppose, but that's what's hurt us in a lot of these losses. Is we've played well in patches, we've played really well in some patches, and then we have a couple of minutes from the last 2 games. It's been third quarters that have really let us down.
Have you brought in any tactics for your team to deal with those lapses? Anything you go to in the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've spoke about it at length. We've done stuff on the training track. So, you know, last week against Wollongong, it was, you know, I had to burn 2 timeouts. Excuse me. I had to burn two timeouts in the third quarter, which is not ideal. Trying different lineups, and you know, we couldn't come up with an answer. So yeah, we'll certainly try some different things tomorrow night.
Jacob Wiley didn't train today. He's all good to go?
Yeah, absolutely. Just purely, I'd suggested to him yesterday, he's you know, I've asked him to do a lot this last month, and it's purely 100% just getting him off his legs for a day.
One player there was so much talk of at the start of the season was Trenton Flowers. How are you rating him at the moment? He was talked possibly as the next Josh Lee coming here.
Yeah, look, he's had his ups and downs. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And we expect a lot of a kid who's 18 years old. So look, he's a work in progress. We continue to work with him, and some days are better than others. Some games are better than others, and with youth comes inconsistency. So we're aware of that. So we'll just continue to do what we've been doing and push him through and encourage him, and hopefully turn him into a multi-millionaire somewhere down the line.